Somebody stop me!
What on earth is going on with these animation channels? I just did a video on Bella the Wolf and noticed another strange animation channel, Rocky Rakoon, who makes these type of videos. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Raisa Senpai, and I talk a lot of shit but not enough to get me cancelled. So for those of you lucky enough to have not wandered off on the weird side of YouTube, Rocky Rakoon is a YouTube animator with over 3 million subscribers. It seems like he likes focusing on making some interesting choices with his animation, using well-known cartoon characters and putting them in some questionable positions. Before anyone says there's nothing wrong with this, he uses the doll from Squid Game and makes her twerk for his 13+ viewers. But do you really believe that only 13+ viewers are watching this? What makes this more creepy is the fact that the doll is a kid and sounds like one. It's not unusual for people to use the excuse that these are characters that ain't real or they just made up, so it's okay. But does it really take away from the weirdness of it happening in general, especially seeing how many creeps are into kids nowadays? So calling out Rocky Rakoon for being a bit creepy, I don't think it's much of a stretch. Like, what exactly is going on in his head when he decides to animate these things? Animation takes a lot of time and he's wasting a lot of talent by getting such bad publicity, risking it all for eventually being called the next Shagman. Whether it's a doll or not, it's meant to represent a kid. Whether it's real or fictional, the intent is pretty clear. After being called out, Rocky Rakoon had came out and made an apology, or what I think was meant to be an apology. And in his defense, he uses that he puts makeup on the doll and that he puts curves to make it not a kid.
So the Squid Game doll was basically doing the jackal pose. I did not mean to in any way sexualize the Squid Game doll. I also did not that the girl was supposed to be a child, and because it's just a doll.
And I don't think that's a good enough reason. It just makes it more weird. But like, I don't think like you have to be old to use makeup. Like, normal people can use it whenever. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're now older than 18.
I'm trying to do my best, but all I feel that is that everyone is hating on me for no reason.
In his apology video, he sounds ignorant, like he's unaware of what he's doing, like we are getting the whole thing wrong, and he starts to cry, and I'm just like, why are you making it seem like you don't have intent behind these things you're posting? Because other than this one situation, you have characters pole dancing to weird music, and other than that, making characters obviously do like weird things like this over here. So how are you gonna come here and cry and lie to us as if we the stupid ones and act as if your content is not creepy? Watching his other content where it's not so perverted or it's not suggestive poses or situations, it's pretty normal cartoon animations, dancing and doing other things that aren't weird, which confuses me more because he says that it's for 13+ viewers, and I would agree that some of his content is supposed to be for 18+ viewers, but like 18+ viewers are not going to watch the other type of content that he's posting, especially recently. He is definitely trying to content farm by using bright colors, fast changing scenes, and if you see his long form videos, a lot of it is very repetitive of doing the exact same thing, and no adult person is going to go and watch, you know, a long form video of a character doing, okay, I don't know, maybe like some weirdos out there, but I'm saying like it's so clear that it is intended for children, some of it, and just to get views and likes. What makes this whole thing more weird is that he has his own Patreon for private content, along with having a Discord server, which must be very interesting. And I'm wondering how old is this person, because Rocky Rakoon in his cried video sounds very small, unless he's old. I don't know. Does anyone know? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, this type of content where people are using fictional children characters or animations of children and saying that it's not weird because it's not, you know, like legit children and it's fictional, it's not a well enough excuse, because like at the end of the day, we still see them as children, and pedophiles will still see them as being kids, then making everything more gross and icky, because like, why is there so many creeps out there that are into children. It's very concerning. I'm very concerned about it, and this type of content promotes it and make people think that it is okay. When it comes to this type of animation channels, I think that there are two sides about it. Those who like the content and subscribe for more because they believe it's not real characters, so I guess it makes it okay in their mind. And those who thinks it's weird seeing that it's a kid animation show that's being used inappropriately. If you see this weird content, always report them. Doesn't mean because everyone is doing something it makes it normal. So after going over Anikad's channel, I've noticed that he or she likes to add suggestive scenes and mix it up with random scenes to hide it from the algorithm, along with keep children watching. And I'm guessing they do this as well to kind of tease adults, yes, adults, to watch this in secret, because you cannot tell me that pedos won't click these videos after seeing the thumbnails while knowing that these characters are from kids shows. You basically creating pedo heaven, even though I doubt they would be seeing heaven. Now, I don't mean to make an already weird situation weirder, but when people have issues with this type of content, it's for that very reason, because keep in mind this is a kids show and the main character Riley is just 16 years old with these emotions in her mind. I don't really care about the specifics of each emotions and the ages or what possibly could have been their ages, because Inside Out was created for children and that's all the information I need to know. Now, I can understand that cost of living is high, so people want views and likes, but there is somewhat a line we try not to cross because of morals, and I'd hope somewhat of not wanting to add to the problem. I'm sure we all noticed an increase in pedos getting exposed, and it's in the small things like this that they hide. After covering Rocky Rakoon's content, which isn't as bad as these channels, if I'm being honest, not saying that his is any better because he's adding to the problem as well, I have seen a rise in this type of videos being recommended to me, and my only joy is to keep reporting this type of content in hopes YouTube picks it up. But of course nothing has happened yet, because I assume they label most likely as kid content, and since it's animated it's easier to hide what it is. Anikad's channel seems to be growing in time, and although they don't get a lot of comments, I did notice other people can see that it's weird content while others are just oblivious to this. But it doesn't stop the fact that they get a good amount of views and subscribers. Unfortunately, we're moving into a time where being weird is becoming a normal thing and people don't mind doing things to get a reaction from people. But people like me make these types of videos exposing this channel so we can report them, because this is definitely suggestive content. And what really gets me is that these people are actually talented and can make normal and good content without having to add this type of scenes. Most of the time it's unnecessary, and they could have made a silly storyline for a kid to watch because they would legit be entertained with anything moving fast or has a lot of movement. So I highly doubt there is a market for this people to go in without having to add weird suggestive scenes, but instead they make this type of content and add silly endings to the suggestive scene and post it for children that would find it hilarious because the character farts and is on a toilet. Like, this is what I was saying, that they would make a weird scene and mix it up with the most random thing, and to me the whole thing is unnecessary, but I can see it's definitely aimed at children. Like, why don't they just make it silly cartoons instead of adding these things? But let me know in the comments your thoughts on this type of channels, and if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos where I talk about other content, not just animation channels. And oh yeah, do not forget to subscribe. I forgot if I mentioned that, but subscribe.